Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me, Momokins, and today I will be showing you guys how I did my Jhalla cosplay that I did at BCX. So what I did was I opened my Adobe Illustrator and I made the best blueprint that I possibly could. I have no prior background in doing something like this. This was literally just an idea I had, and it actually turned out pretty decent. So then after that, I had to scale it to fit me and the cosplay and have, like, you know, the brawlhalla dimensions instead of just like a small little flat thing on the screen. Now for the bottom part, the little gem at the bottom, I made that entirely out of foaming clay. I wish I documented that more. It was just really just making the shape with foaming clay, and while it's still wet, poking the PVC pipe at the bottom so that it fits. And yeah, that's basically it for that. So for the handle, I'm just using a regular PVC pipe. You can get it at any home goods store, Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever. And I just sanded it down, and I took an extra pair of fabric I had left over and just wrapped it all the way around. I started wrapping it neat, but when I did it like that, you couldn't really see. So I started like this exaggerated wrapping, and So here's me actively struggling to work with this 50mm foam for the first time ever. I mean, we made it work, but it was not easy. Here I am sanding it to make it smooth because I think it was taking too long. It did a great job at making the general shape, but to have that smoothness, I felt like actual sandpaper was better here. So once I was done cutting out, sanding down, smoothing everything out, I decided to wrap the whole thing in 2mm EVA foams to make everything smooth. So it's the next day. This is finally, like, there's still some over here that I want to tack down, but mainly it's pretty much done. But as you can see, it's very smooth. It's too smooth to be in like brawlhalla axe. So I'm gonna get my heat gun and my little foil ball here that I did the same kind of method, heat up the foam, make it look a little like rough. So that's what I'm about to do. So after the foaming clay was hard, after the handle was already glued on, I started working on painting my axe. Now for this I used masking tape, but looking back on this, regular Scotch tape would have been fine. Because the foam that I used was so thin, when I was removing the masking tape, it was also taking off the foam. And yeah, that created patches. So if I could redo this, just regular Scotch tape probably would have been fine. So after painting my axe, I wanted the bottom to be a little bit more flat. So I got a bowl, put a bunch of stuff in it, and just let it sit there overnight. This, you see how her dreads, like, these are almost close to the same color. I'm not altering the color. It could be a little bit bluer, but like no one's going to tell. So I'm leaving it just the way it is. And so let me put this on. So for this portion, I just did 2-strand twist throughout the entire wig to make it look like Jhalla's. And this took about 2.5 hours because I tried doing it multiple different ways. And then at the end, I just fluffed up the roots, and this is what it was looking like. I will fix it when it's closer to the date for it, but this is basically the way that we're gonna go with. And yeah, it's something. So to make my bracers, all I got was a piece of paper, measured my wrist, put it on EVA foam, traced it out, cut it out, smoothed it down, and I made a basic outline, copied that for my other arm, and then I added some cute little straps to open and close it. It's done. It's on. I want to paint these little like extra things because I made the straps too big, and then when I turn you see the back and it looks shitty. So I'm gonna paint that over. But hold on. And here is how the bracers actually turned out. So now the next thing we're gonna work on is the shoes. So for the boots, I basically got a beauty blender. I was gonna originally airbrush it, but my airbrush wasn't working because I didn't have airbrush paint. So I just got a beauty blender, damp beauty blender, some like watered down paint, and I just buffed out the entire fur to give it that color. I had some leather straps that I ordered online just the way it was, and I glued that onto the shoe. So as for the costume itself, I had to make my own custom pattern. So what I did was I covered myself in plastic wrap and then duct tape, and here I am trying to record with one hand and draw with one hand, but after a little while I was like, this ain't it. So once that was done, I cut myself out of the duct tape plastic wrap. Then I took every single line that I drawn and cut out small little patterns and put them across my fabric that I had here on the floor. Okay, so it's basically done. I'm getting in from the top, so I basically have to clip the top here, and then I'm gonna start working on the details. This is gonna go like across. The fur's kind of on, but I gotta fix all of that, so let me do it. Now the arm strap was pretty simple, just fabric, Velcro, that's it. Now for the details of the costume, I used the same strap that I use on my boots to make the little straps on my cosplay itself. So to make the front flap, I basically got some extra fabric I had, cut it out, put the fur on top, and I left a gap so that I can put a Velcro strip across, so that way it's easy to adjust. At this point the cosplay was pretty much done, and here I am just with my final fitting. And this is the final result. This was one of my favorite cosplays to make. I had so much fun making it. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you all in the next one.